thought it might be helpful to take a few minutes to think about something we talk about a lot, but maybe don't understand very well, and that is stress. What is stress, and when does it become a problem, and how do we stop it becoming a problem? So that's what we're going to be thinking about. And to help us to think about it, I'm going to use this balloon. So, like this. There you are. The balloon is you. Okay, that's your life. And stress is the air inside the balloon that I've been blowing into the balloon. And I just want you to notice to start with that for a balloon to be a balloon, it needs the air inside it. For you to function normally, you actually need a little bit of stress in your life. Stress is what gets us up in the morning. Stress is what motivates us to get through the day. Stress is what helps us to perform when we need to perform well, or to run away when we need to run away. Stress is basically all the stuff that's going on in our lives that causes our body to be, our system to be a little bit aroused, a little bit on high alert and high functioning. So you need stress. You need it to live by. Because we all know what happens if the stresses in our life increase. Let me just do that with this balloon. Under normal circumstances, your body, your mind, is designed to cope with a certain amount of stress. But as stresses increase, then your body and your mind start to let you know. So, for example, if I'm under a lot of pressure, I get an extra heartbeat. It's called an ectopic heartbeat. That tells me I'm doing a little bit too much. There's a bit too much going on in my life. If that continues, I start to get a twitch in my right shoulder blade. It's just another way my body has of saying, you're doing too much, mate. And there are other things happening as well. I get a little bit irritable. I might not sleep very well. Now those things, my extra heartbeat, the twitch in my right shoulder blade, the irritability, the not sleeping very well, we'd call that our stress signature. We're all a bit different, and our stress signatures are different from time to time, from person to person. But basically, these are the ways your mind and your body have of telling you that you need to throttle back on the stress, do something about it, because your body and your mind are not thriving at that point. There's too much going on. Now, if we ignore those little warning signs, those stress signatures, then things get worse. I think you know where this is going. And there it goes. A friend of mine says stress isn't a medical term, it's an engineering term. It doesn't matter how strong a material is. If you put enough pressure on it, weight on it, it will break, just like this balloon. And if we ignore the signs in our lives that are telling us that we're under stress, eventually they will build up and stress will become an illness. It may become anxiety, not just worry, but an anxiety which is actually an illness. We need help with it. It may become depression, not just feeling down, but feeling down for a very long time where our joy in life is completely taken away and all kinds of other things happen as well. If we're ill already with something like a psychotic illness, stress will make us become very ill, and it might even kick off a psychotic episode. So stress is incredibly important. So we're going to think about stress and managing our stress and recognizing what's going on. And I've got another balloon, so we're going to do the same thing again. Don't worry, it won't burst this time, hopefully. So there's me. I need a bit of stress in my life to get me out of bed in the morning and make me function. But as my balloon gets fuller, I start to show symptoms, my stress signature. And that's the time I need to start to manage the level of stress in my life. That's my balloon, managing its stress. And stress management is about doing the things that release stuff from the balloon. We might choose to do a few things less. We might choose to do a bit more exercise, or do something at the end of the day that we find relaxing, like watching an episode of a box set, or or lots of people have lots of different ways of managing their stress. You find yours and use those. But there are also unwise ways of managing stress. So some people drink a lot to manage their stress, and that actually causes problems. Down the line, more stress. Some people do risky or dangerous things to manage their stress, and again, it's something that's going to cause problems later on. So when we want to let air out of our balloon, we want to choose helpful, wise ways of doing that, and not unhelpful ways. I'm a Christian, and a lot of people watching this video are going to be Christians. I find meditation incredibly helpful in reducing or managing the amount of stress in my life, or how much the stress in my life influences me. An extension of meditation is prayer, talking to God honestly and openly about what's going on in your life, but also talking to others honestly and openly about what's going on. If you've got a friend or two that you can share things with, and you know that they will not put them on Facebook at the end of the day, those are the kind of people that you need, just to help you to manage the ups and downs, the stresses and strains of your life. So that's stress. You're the balloon, and the air inside of the balloon are the stresses in your life. You need stress to enable you to function normally, but sometimes stress gets out of hand, and we need to find wise ways to manage stress. Prayer, meditation, reading God's Word is really, really helpful for doing that. You need to find what helps you and to make sure you build that into your life.